All right, welcome everybody to the show. Hope everybody's doing great out there. And looks like we are good to go. So, like always, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Okay, getting right down into it. So, welcome to the one and only Perfect Soulmate Show. Huge welcome to 10 all new subscribers, which is the reason why I'm streaming once again. So for every 2 new subscribers, here I come once again. So for the new subscribers, I am your relationship coach, Ben, a U.S. Army veteran, author, course creator, content producer, and influencer, among many, many more titles. Today I will be perhaps the only person in the world to tell you that you can cure your supposed mental illness or disorder, whichever you choose to call it. Whatever you want to call it. Despite what the professionals or anyone else has told you. Yes, I am serious. And ironically, a lot of people are going to say, you can't say that. Well, I'm about to prove them wrong. So, be prepared. It's time to stop accepting defeat. It's time to stop living your entire life as a victim, falling prey to whatever label you want to keep repeating to yourself that will forever keep you down if you allow it to. This is your life, so it's time to take control. I will be briefly going over a few popular types of disorders and giving you my own unique intelligent wisdom and insight, providing you with solutions instead of justifying your problems like everyone else foolishly does these days. By the end of this presentation, if you are not confident and ready to annihilate your supposed disorders, then I'm afraid you truly are helpless. So do your best to pay close attention to what I'm about to teach you. Help me help you. All right. Let's go ahead and move on here. Okay, right off the bat, from the very beginning, realize that no matter what you have, there are solutions to either heavily minimize or completely destroy whatever disorder you're currently suffering from. A disorder is a weakness, not an illness. Also remember that love is the answer to anything negative in life. So if you have nobody by your side to call your intimate partner, hopefully one day your soulmate, most likely you are suffering from some type of disorder or just plain misery from a mediocre or lonely lifestyle. That's precisely why I chose to dedicate the rest of my life towards spreading the power of love, because it's literally the only ultimate solution for any negative situation. Don't have love in your life? Then prepare to suffer in complete misery. First of all, you need to understand that a weak mindset will cause you to have heavy negative effects on your body, mind, and spirit. Not only that, your mind will suffer greatly as well. So, in other words, reject all forms of negativity or suffer forever. It's pretty clear. Human beings are naturally designed to be strong, powerful, perfect creatures. So, if you don't believe that perfection exists, then you will never completely succeed in anything you choose to do in your life. Perfection is proven to exist in many, many ways. Creating and maintaining a positive mindset requires only positive action without excuses. You must be very strict on yourself if you are to completely rid yourself of whatever disorder you have. If you are watching this, you can do anything. All right. So, this is just a general example of what a positive mindset looks like. In other words, how a healthy mind thinks on a daily basis. The goal is to get rid of every single negative thought you have, no matter the reason why it appears in your mind. Stop telling yourself that you have a mental illness or disorder, because every single time you repeat that in your mind, you are making your disorder even worse. You have two choices. Either fight like a real human warrior, or simply easily give in like a quitter. Classic excuses are, you don't know what it's like, so how would you understand? Or, I'm officially diagnosed with this disorder, so I don't have to fight, because the world says it's impossible to get rid of. Negative thoughts are destructive thoughts. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. A positive mindset, somebody would say, I'm going to cure my disorder. That's a very powerful word that you won't really find in the medical industry. Gee, I wonder why. Sounds like a business, right? I don't care what the professionals say. Only what you say matters in the end. It's your body, it's your mind, it's your life. I don't have limits and I don't fear anything. You see that fearless attitude? What do you generally find with somebody who keeps repeating, I have a mental illness, I have a mental disorder? You don't find these quotes right here. So let's look at where they are stuck in the quicksand. And you know where that ends. Negative mindsets. I have a mental illness. Okay. What are you doing about it? Well, I'm helpless and hopeless. Wow. Gee, that sounds like a real fighter there. I can't do anything about it. Okay, I guess that's your reality. You know what? I'm not going to stick around and listen to anything more. Sorry, don't be offended. But I work with people who want a positive mindset. Because if you're going to be living in the negative mindset, you're addicted to that behavior. Those negative thoughts, those negative emotions, and now you're just an addict, just like a drug addict. Just like somebody who insists that there's no way out, there's no way for me to detox from this. The cocaine is just too strong. You know how painful a detox from a certain drug is? It's going to be almost exactly the same to detox your negative mind and your negative emotions. Because a negative mind will just completely make your emotions toxic in a negative way. So let's go ahead and proceed, shall we? Because once you say impossible to get rid of, you're done. All right. Don't be a loser in life. That's not an offense. Believing that there's nothing you can do about your disorder. If you can walk, talk, and listen, you have a solid opportunity to defeat your disorder. But for that to happen, you need a winner attitude, not a victim attitude. Winners don't allow any negative thoughts or emotions to cloud their judgment or reasoning skills. They don't allow negative energy to corrupt their mind, body, or spirit. Winners only think of solutions to any given problem, no matter how intense they are. When you learn to be a problem solver, you stop becoming a troublemaker. You're only making a bad situation worse. When you learn to believe in yourself 100%, not 99%, not 10%, 100%, you start to see just how beautiful and satisfying life can be. Get rid of anyone by your side who doesn't believe in you, because they are toxic. Crabs in a crabs in a bucket, they want to bring you down. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. A winner attitude, for example. I'm going to strengthen my mind, body, and spirit. Sounds cliche, but when you actually do it, that makes all the difference in the world. It's no longer cliche. People who say cliche are the lazy, ignorant ones. Another example, I'm going to ask people to help me. Yes, don't be afraid to ask people for help. That's what they're there for. Friendship, family care, your intimate partner, real love we're talking about. Are they going to abandon you just because suddenly you have what's called a mental illness or disorder? Or are they going to stay by your side and help you get through it? Or at least heavily minimize the negative effects? I don't have limits and I don't fear anything. Okay, let's look at the victim attitude. I have a mental illness. I'm helpless and hopeless. I can't do anything about it. Pretty much the same in this case. So let's go ahead and move on. All right. It's crunch time, which means we will now go over a few different types of disorders. PTSD, for example, post-traumatic stress disorder. Be very careful with that last word, because everybody, almost every single person on this earth has post-traumatic stress. Something traumatic that happened, but the level of trauma varies from person to person. Almost every single person has something like, I don't know if they were bullied, they were laughed at, they were harassed, they were scared, nervous breakdown. It's traumatizing. You could remember that moment. Traum, I'm going to go over the word Traum in German means dream, to dream. So the actual disorder involves dreaming of a traumatic moment in your past. You get stuck in that trance. Okay? In other words, having flashbacks, these flashbacks have certain triggers, however, that you need to identify in order to avoid them in the future. If it's loud noises, then move to a different neighborhood, a different city, state, country, or entire continent, for crying out loud. This is your health we are talking about. Maybe depression or anxiety causes you to have flashbacks. Whatever the trigger is, it's your responsibility and the responsibility of your loved ones, if you have any, to become aware of such triggers and to completely eliminate them from your lifestyle. So let's go over this. PTSD. A positive mind would say, I'm going to create new memories to help block out the old ones. I always advise people on this, because you're stuck on the old memories. You don't have enough happiness in your life. So number 2, I'm going to do my best to live a happy life. Precisely. The more happiness in your life, the more you're going to eventually forget. Not completely forget, but stop triggering yourself to remember those horrible events and reliving them. So eventually, I will no longer have any flashbacks. That's something a positive person would say despite the label PTSD, the actual disorder. I strongly believe that a disorder is you can't even function. Okay, so I mean, if you're able to speak in front of a camera and talk about it, we'll talk about it. So negative mindset, I don't know what to do. I can't do anything about it. The flashbacks are too overwhelming. Okay, they might be, but you're not looking for solutions here. Oh, there's no solutions because I can't do anything about it. You see how negative and destructive this is to have a negative mindset? You're defeating yourself. It doesn't matter what label you've been given. Have you ever seen handicapped people in wheelchairs do incredible people with one leg, one arm, no arms, no legs, and they're still out there doing incredible demonstrations of willpower and strength. Unbelievable. You've seen them. So there's almost just no excuse at all for a mental disorder that you have a chance in conquering if you were to take the steps necessary. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD, which is the inability to control the act of repeating an action over and over again. Now, I know how bad this can get, the actual disorder. If you want to conquer this disorder, then you must train yourself to become a master in the art of restraint. That's physical restraint, mental and emotional restraint. Similar to PTSD, becoming compulsive has its own triggers. So once again, find out what they are. Most likely it's connected to something negative in your life, which means you feel miserable, depressed, alone, or nervous about something or someone. Have a loved one or friend prevent you from continuing to feed your OCD activity. If you don't have anyone to help you, then learn how to safely escape the environment where you are, even if it's your own home, just until the sensation completely goes away. Now, I'm well aware of how intense it can be. If it's an actual disorder, the complete disorder, then there's almost nothing you can do, almost like autism. I've seen autistic people. I'm talking about full-blown autism. They can't understand you, you can't understand them. And I've heard all the magical stories about, oh no, they're really smart, you just don't know it. I beg to differ. They have the actual disorder. So I'm not going to pretend like I know that they are this and that. What I know is that there's a failure to communicate on both ends. So until science improves in that department, I'm not going to pretend that they're anything above or below. It is what it is. But if you're calling yourself autistic and you can speak, you can write, you can read, even if you have dyslexia, you still can read, then you don't have autism, in my humble opinion. Oh, I'm on the spectrum. I'm going to go over that in a while. But first, let's go ahead and go over this chart here. Positive thinker, positive mindset. I'm going to practice restraining myself whenever possible. I'm going to improve my mental and emotional focus. I'm going to, because this is habitual. This is a nervous wreck we're talking about. It's the urge, it's that tendency, it's that habit, it's that you can't control it, right? I'm going to call for help if it's too overwhelming, but I will never quit. You see, it's the attitude though. You can eventually get over it, but here's what a negative person's going to say. It's a permanent mental illness. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm too weak and I'm suffering so much. Okay, there's no solution there. There's no ideas for solutions. You see how destructive that is. I'm not saying any of this is easy, people. I'm saying you should not give up and just accept defeat. You have to be a fighter, inside and out. All right, so let's go ahead and continue here. Next in line is depression or anxiety. I had to couple them together. They are feelings that should never become an actual disorder, because what they ultimately translate to is an unhappy, miserable life without enough love or care. Okay? They shouldn't even be disorders. These two negative feelings are caused by something missing in your life. Of course, I would recommend finding a potential partner by establishing a strong friendship with someone that you're attracted to. But if you want an immediate solution, because I always say love cures everything, pretty much. If you want an immediate solution to these negative feelings, you're going to have to practice how to love yourself first. Go to the gym, work out at home, because anxiety is stored energy. I always tell people this. You need to release that energy. I did a stream about anxiety not too long ago. Eat a mostly healthy diet and drink plenty of filtered water. Not dirty water, obviously. Get plenty of sleep and rest. I know it's going to be challenging with depression. You don't want to do anything. You're stuck to the bed. I heard all about it. And even as children, we suffered from depression at times, in our teenager years especially. We were just learning about how sad this life really is, but also how beautiful life is and how beautiful it could be, the challenges ahead. But that's a decision you have to make from such a young age. Otherwise, you're going to end up with disorders as an adult. You see, now you have to backtrack and try to fix all this mess that you could have prevented when you were a child. Had you overcame your traumas and your past experiences, negative experiences. You can't just move forward and tuck it underneath the carpet. It doesn't work that way. It will pop up again in the future. That's why I believe in perfect relationships as well, because the problems from back then are going to only appear in the future if you don't take care of them. That's why perfection is so important. But people want to keep kicking the can down the road. The same when it comes to mental disorders. Talk about your problems with a coach like myself, or a friend, or a family member, even a stranger if you have to. Learn to use negative energy and convert it into positive energy. That's the whole point. All right, so let's take a look at this. A positive mindset. I need my family and friends to help me get through this. You see, those are powerful words. Get through this. Break on through to the other side. Don't reinforce the wall with the victim mentality. I need healthy activities to positively stimulate my mind and emotions. You know how powerful that is? You need to get moving. Depression is going to keep you still like cement. What happens to cement if it doesn't keep moving? Exactly. You become a statue. I need someone to love with all of my heart and soul. As I say, love cures everything. There's not a single day in my life ever since we became soulmates that I'm depressed with my partner. I'm not even anxious. I'm not nervous. Nothing. Fearless. Positive to the core. And I want that for everybody out there. So let's look at a negative mindset. It's a permanent mental illness. There's nothing I can do about it. I don't want to live anymore. Are you kidding me? The fact that you can even utter those words means that you have a chance to conquer it. It's like in a fight. I mean, as long as you can pick up that sword or pick up that weapon or put your fist up, as long as you can still stand, you have a chance. Don't just lie down and give up. I don't care what it is in life. It's not about how hard you fall. I'm not going to repeat the Rocky quote, but it's cliche at this point. But it's not supposed to be cliche. You're supposed to have these positive experiences in your life. So, let's see here. Attention. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Attention deficit disorder, ADHD. So I have to say, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. This is a new term. The inability to focus on something for a long period of time. However, like I said in the beginning, if you can if you can walk, talk, listen, and speak, and wait patiently, that's what I was going to say, you should not be having any issues with ADHD. A lot of people claim to have ADHD, and I can have a conversation with them for hours. Are you kidding me? Oh, that's not what I mean by ADHD. It's only with books, or it's only with the news. No. Stop it. It means you can get rid of it permanently. I've heard so many people say that they have PTSD, OCD, ADHD, depression, and anxiety, yet there they are right in front of me, completely understanding everything that I'm talking about. They even have the ability to make social media content. If you have that ability, then you are not in a disorder category, which is a good thing. Why would you want to have that label over your head? I have a disorder. As if you're proud of it. We'll go over that later. They even participate in debates, and some of them have very immature, rude, disrespectful attitudes. Yeah, believe it. I even ran into one who claims to have multiple disorders but behaves like a covert narcissist, hurting and destroying other people's lives. But she's proud to admit it. She's proud to say, oh, I'm a neurodivergent, I'm ADHD, I have autism, and she's a schemer. She knows exactly what she's doing. I've seen it firsthand. I'm like, so you preach all this stuff on social media that you're suffering from this, and that. And it's not just her, by the way. And it's not just social media. Even offline, people will lie about what they have and don't have. And it's just like, why would you do that? Why can't you just be honest? Because now you have to keep up with the lies, and somebody's going to catch you. So, okay, let's go ahead and see what we have here. Yeah, so if you really do have any one of these disorders and are a mature, polite, respectful person, then you will overcome such disorders as long as you use maximum effort. ADHD, for example, is all about taking it step by step, increasing your attention span every day. All right, so let's go ahead and look at this. All right, so ADHD, a positive mindset would say, I need to learn how to focus on things piece by piece to increase my attention span. You see how positive that is? You're in the fight. I need happiness in my life. That's a big help. Many people, they don't even look at that. They're like, let's see, I just need to get back to my routine. Like, that's the reason why you ended up in this place in the first place. Is because you just lived your life as a routine. You never paid attention to what makes you happy and actually fulfill it. Make it happen. I need to create positive thoughts along with uplifting emotions. You know how many people just neglect their emotions because they think it's Disney material? No, that's reality. And so is happiness. A negative mindset would say, I can't focus on anything. I have ADHD. Wow, what an excuse. But we can have a conversation. So that's a lie. That's not true. You're lying to yourself. Even if you were officially diagnosed with it. Why would you want to do that for the rest of your life? Say, oh, you know what? It's like a lazy mindset. I can't focus on anything. Wow, that's very convenient. So I guess I can't have any conversations with you. Oh, but you can watch cartoons all day, or you can watch sports all day. Not much ADHD there. Or you can be a negative person and hurt other people. Not a lot of ADHD there. There's nothing I can do about it. I have a low attention span. How convenient. I'm not saying everybody, but if you really do have it, and you're here listening to this now, you can do something about it. Otherwise, if you can't pay attention to anything, then yeah, I guess you really do have the disorder. But if you're not, then okay, let's go ahead and move on. Now, autism is like the entire umbrella. It's at the helm, the tip of the umbrella here. Autism is a word that many people use incorrectly, however. It seems many people use it just to get attention and justify their lack of interest in life itself. If you really did have autism, then you would not be here watching this presentation. You wouldn't even be able to speak, and I wouldn't even be able to understand you. I'm well aware that autism includes depression, anxiety, OCD, and many other disorders, but once again, if you can speak and listen, then you should stop calling yourself autistic and simply work on your weaknesses. There's nothing cool about having an actual disorder. Actually, it's mocking the ones who have the full-blown disorder, and they don't have the opportunities you have to cure the situation. Everyone seriously needs to stop defending these disorders as if they're something prestigious to have. I see far too many people actually proud to identify themselves by having multiple disorders. The truth is, if you have a single disorder, you need to completely get rid of it. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we have here on this chart. Autism. A positive mindset would say, I can learn anything if I take my time and believe that nothing is wrong with me. Belief is power, people. Every day is an opportunity to increase my mental health. If I can speak and listen, anything is possible. You see how powerful that mindset is? Even if you have been diagnosed with autism, but you can still read, write, and listen and comprehend what I'm saying now, I think you can get rid of it. Now let's look at a negative mindset. I can't learn anything. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm mentally disabled. That's the loser's mindset because there's no solution. You're losing everything. You're losing your opportunities. It's not an offensive term to call somebody a loser in this context. You're choosing to lose all of your opportunities because you don't even want to try. If you really had full-blown autism, trust me, I've seen it. It's a real handicap. It's scary. It really is. And it's a shame that people go walking around saying, oh, I have a lot of depression, so I'm autistic too. I'm on the spectrum, and I also have ADHD, and I also... Just stop it. Look how you can describe all of everything that you supposedly have. I don't think you have any of that. I think you struggle emotionally, but you're trying to seek attention. Let's go ahead and move on. Those who say that disorders are permanent and that there's no way to cure them have absolutely no idea just how powerful humans are naturally designed to be. Today, mental, emotional, and physical weakness is the worst plague we've ever seen before. Barely anyone learns how to think outside the box, let alone even know what that saying means. It means to question others when they say something can't be done. Because history has always proven that many things were impossible, but are today's reality. Just look at the telephone. That's just one out of many. The invention of this and that. If you were to go back in time and say to all the indigenous people, they would laugh at you describing these inventions, or the smartphone. So don't say something's impossible, because most likely it's going to become possible one day. Even the unbelievable could become possible one day. If you keep repeating to yourself how impossible something is, not only will you believe it and suffer the consequences of reinforcing such a weak, mediocre, dangerous, negative mindset, but you'll also spread destructive, negative energy that will bring down those around you. So don't be selfish. Just because you think it's impossible, don't go around spreading it saying, oh, you have a mental disorder too? Oh, so you can't cure it just like me. And if they're doing better than you are, all of a sudden that jealousy comes in. Oh, you know what? I got to bring them down emotionally and mentally because I don't like that they're improving their condition and I'm not. It happens, people. I mean, it's a really sick world out there when it comes to mental disorders. Be very careful of those claiming to have this and that. I'm not saying everybody. I'm just saying that there's a lot of it. Even people claiming to be homeless con people, and they're not homeless. But they'll gladly take that change in those dollars, in those donations. I'm not saying everybody. I'm just saying there's a lot out there. Scammers, everything. Lies, you name it. No matter what disorder someone has, once they fall into a negative routine of saying they can't do anything, such as you can't find your soulmate either. I hear that all the time. They are literally handicapping themselves forever. When it comes to real solutions and true strength, the word can't is absolutely unacceptable. Go ahead and accept it. But you're going to end up losing out on everything. You want to become a champion in life? You want to win in everything you dedicate yourself to? Then there's no room for negative thoughts or emotions. Strengthen your body, strengthen your mind, strengthen your heart. Learn to rid yourself of all negative energy. This right here is what professionals and people in general want you to do. There's a lot of business out there to keep you in that disorder state, in that ignorant state. Listen to no one and stay silent and weak. That's what they want. Don't even look at anything that will teach you how to better yourself, how to strengthen yourself. Just stay blind, deaf, mute, and ignorant, living a weak life. Oh yeah, ka-ching. Lots of profit there to keep the people down and weak, not to believe in themselves. Learn to say no when you're being forced to live with a supposed disorder. I don't care if even professionals tell you. Learn to passionately reject the idea of accepting a life where you play the victim every single day. Are you one of the few that isn't afraid to become strong? Do you take your happiness seriously? Because if you truly do take your future happiness seriously, you need to replace every single weakness you have with 100% pure strength. And yes, you can. Without fear or doubt. Without coming up with weak excuses that make you absolutely nothing. They don't do absolutely anything to help cure your disorder. You gotta think about it, people. Is what you say going to benefit anything, or are you just complaining or supporting a negative situation, making it worse? There's nothing wrong with hoping and praying that some kind of miracle will happen overnight, but chances are nothing positive will come. Nothing will happen unless you choose to take action. You can sit there and hope for the best all your life, but your disorder, especially a mental disorder, will most likely still be there. Action, people. It's okay to hope, but without action, you're not going anywhere. You decide whether your life will always be fortunate or forever unfortunate. It's not always left to chance. Only things that are completely out of your hands, however, are left to chance. But with things like a disorder, a mental disorder that you have a chance to fight, it's all up to you. Even with the painful disorder, pain is a reminder that you are still alive and still have a chance to overcome whatever is holding you down. It's time to decide whether you want to live your future as a strong winner or join the rest, easily accepting defeat as a weak loser. Once again, that's not an insult. It's reality. Because you do have what it takes to cure your disorder, if you are able to communicate with others on some level. That means you have a chance. In life, you must always be in control of your own destiny. Great things happen to those who give their maximum effort. So don't just roll over and die when you're still alive. Results, no excuses. It's all or nothing if you want the best in life. So, with all of that said, be very careful who you listen to, even when listening to yourself. Because even you can corrupt your own mind if you allow yourself to fall for putting negative thoughts into your mind. Because negative thoughts will negatively affect your emotions. It's a vicious cycle. So, you hang around with coconuts, you become a coconut. As Rocky said. You hang around negative people, guess what? They're going to bring you down. And also, don't join these clubs where, oh, you have ADHD too, so do I. Oh, you suffer from depression and anxiety. Oh, cool, high five. It's nothing to be proud of. You guys should be not ashamed of it, but join together, join forces, and get rid of it. Something to celebrate is, hey, how did you get rid of your anxiety and ADHD? Here, let me show you how. That's something to be proud of and excited for. Now, I've been alive for 42 years, almost. So take it from a 30-year martial artist, U.S. Army veteran who deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan, college graduate, author, and relationship coach, among so many other conquered challenges in my life. You must break free from misery. Develop your own warrior mindset. Do anything that will build your mind and develop everlasting positive emotions. Only seek to be happy, and the answers will come. I'll always be here when you're ready. So with that said, much love to everybody out there. This is supposed to motivate you to find a way to conquer your mental disorder if the shoe fits, or if you know somebody with a mental disorder or 2 or 3, it doesn't matter. If they can still speak, walk, and talk, if they can think, they have more than a chance. So, don't allow them to hang around the loser circle, being proud of being self-handicapped, because that's what they're doing. They're keeping themselves down and they don't even know it. They get addicted to being down because that's the easy way out, but they're not getting anywhere out. They're not breaking through to the other side. Absolute freedom from such daily torture. Because it's easier to give in to the pain and simply say there's nothing I can do and whine and complain every single day. It gets old. Not only for people listening to you trying to help you, but to yourself, it should get old. I'm talking about after day one. You're way better than that. You're way more capable than that. Your own greatest enemy is yourself. Not me, not anybody else. Yourself. So if you say you can't, then you can't. If you say you won't, then you won't. If you say it's impossible, then it's impossible. No matter how much comes out of my mouth, how much passion and emotion and positivity and motivation is not going to affect you if you have a negative mindset. So, hope you guys learned something today. Or if not, at least pass it over to somebody who can learn from this. Because that way you're contributing to a better world. It's not about me. It's about us. Humanity in general. So with that said, much love to everybody.